What's going on YouTube? TeamSC back online here with another 3v3 gamecast for you this evening. Now this one's going to be one that was played a couple weeks back here on the map known, I think it's New Richmond? New Richmond, we'll call it New Richmond for now. But this was on my list of games to cast. I don't exactly remember what happened, but it should have a lot of action if I'm not mistaken. I usually try to cast games where there's actually some stuff going on to make it interesting for you guys. You know, boring just macro games where nothing's really happening. I mean, macro is fun and all, but it's not the most fun to watch unless you have an amazing commentator. But anyways, let's introduce our players. Today I am actually spawning as the orange Zerg, doing a little bit off racing myself. Gonna be playing a little bit of Zerg here on this map. My allies are none other than Brain Crusher, aka 2 base Mutalisk all day every day, and our third partner is Spec over here, spawning as the yellow Terran. He does play random, and he's opting to go for actually a command center first, taking a very risky build, but he tends to do stupid stuff like this. I mean, you know, a macro greedy play like this, you know. But we'll see if they're able to hold it off. Hopefully they don't scout us or see anything going on. But we're up against none other than Parmenion from the NUGT clan. His allies are Bilo, also from the NUGT clan, going for an expansion first over here. And then the last but not least is Clem, also from the same clan as his allies. So we do have a 3 versus 3 today, and we do have 4 Zergs in the mix, 1 Protoss on the north and a Terran on the south, so we'll see if that makes the difference. So it's going to be a little bit of Zerg v Zerg action, guys. We do have our warlords all over the map, moving around, taking strategic positions, just getting vision going. So pretty much with this map, the main thing is you do have 2 allies who spawn close together. They do have small little ramps going down to their natural expansions where they can kind of defend together. Third bases branch out. There's a watchtower here to control this part of the map, along with a gold base here, and then another blue base here. It's a little bit more in the open. Another watchtower here covering the middle, and another one here on the left side. And then the third ally just kind of spawns here by themselves, but they do have access to 1, 2, 3 bases, so they can have up to 4 bases total, including a gold base. But the only bad thing is that the distance from their allies' base is actually a decent amount by land. So if you rush this guy who's by himself, odds are they will usually die just because of the way this map structure is. But if you do manage to hold out, you do eventually get a huge economy to kind of turn the tides of the battle, because your other allies will only have 3 bases, and the one who's by himself ends up having, how do you say, just a lot more. So we do have a couple of Zerglings moving out on the map here, going to be going across the map, and it does look like they are actually going to go and try to do a little bit of damage to the lone Zerg player myself. They don't actually have vision of my base, and I'm not sure if I was playing random or Zerg, so I guess they're going to see and find out what's been going on. But we do also have some Zerglings moving out for Brain Crusher as well, going to be going across the other side. Speed not yet done for anybody, almost done here for Brain Crusher, and this guy I don't even have no idea. Let me see. Yeah, looks like he actually just started his speed boost. He tried to do a little bit of damage with some slow, non-upgraded links. We do have a couple of links ourselves and a queen here. Going to be able to defend this. Speed links, speed done for Brain Crusher. Going to be able to deal with this quite easily. Going to be moving across the map. Meanwhile, we do have Clem here bringing the rest of his Zerglings home. Not going to get any damage done until speed finishes, and he does have a little bit left to go on that, about half done. Meanwhile, the others are going to be teching up, getting a Banelings Lest himself. Also has speed on the way, and there's going to be a lot of bling action going on. Parmenion getting 3 gateways, finishing up the wall here, going to be doing a lot of early aggression, it looks like, because he's got 5 gateways before even getting the Cyber Core, so it looks like he's going to get that warp gate done, and it does look like he's probably going to take an aggressive stance. We do have Brain Crusher moving his Zerglings here, going to be getting a little bit of damage, going to be getting snipe on that queen, which is huge. No, he actually doesn't get the snipe on the queen. Going to be having to back out of there, and actually I'm not sure why it's not displaying the health bars. Usually it just shows them, but it's only showing them if I put my mouse pointer over that. Gonna have to check that out in the settings here a little bit. But Brain Crusher gonna be bringing his lings back home. Meanwhile, do you have 1 spine crawler? Do you have 4 queens here? Gonna be just trying to macro up. Got Banelings Nest of my own right now, just trying to get as many drones as I can before I have to switch and make non-stop units. Do have a couple lings out on the map myself, going around trying to take the watchtower, do a little damage, but forced to kind of leave. Did have that watchtower these Zerglings going to clean up, and I do see the Banelings moving in towards my base. But meanwhile, Brain Crusher has more lings moving across the map, but he's got to be careful. There are a couple Banelings here, and this could potentially be bad. Banelings splitting off, 2 going this way, 3 going back to help defend the home base. Brain Crusher here staying at the main tower, deciding what he wants to do. Going to be morphing some Banelings of my own to keep him on the defense. 2 Banelings going to be walking up the ramp, but we do have our own Banelings here, and should actually try to use the queens to deal with this, but we actually, only losing 1 Baneling to that. Queens do hold it off. Do have 2 queens here holding position on the ramp to prevent any Zergling run-bys. For those who don't know, these small ramps, 2 queens all it takes to wall it off, and you can hold position there. And oh, nasty hit. We just missed it. These Banelings had a field day. He had a lot of lings here, guys. Units left, we have about 18 for Brain Crusher, so that Baneling just got a huge hit off on Brain Crusher's links. Now he's just splitting them up a little bit since he's going to be holding position at the ramp. But this Overlord here is going to see everything, so he's sending a couple links, going to be coming in to try to pick some off. Brain Crusher does have more links, but this one Baneling could turn the whole battle. Even NUGT, Clem bringing his Zerglings here, going to be chasing Brain Crusher back to it. And he can actually take this there, guy. I was about to say, he can actually take that fight. But there's not enough links here. Blue's links are still behind, but there's more links here. Going to have to be bracketing out. Meanwhile, Spec getting a couple of Marauders, but this is not actually what he needs to do with the Zerglings. He needs more Marines, Widow Mines, anything, even a bunker. As you can see, he's queuing up like mad. Got another Marauder, more Marines on the production tab. But he just has a bunch of production. He spent this whole time just getting economy and production, but he hasn't actually been producing from his buildings. So this is going to be bad for Brain Crusher here. He is losing a lot of workers. So this Queen does have a couple of drones trying to surround that Queen and hold position so the Queen can get more shots off. But Queen going down, and the Bane train is coming in, doing a lot of damage, taking out a lot of workers. Even Zerglings moving into the Terran base as well. Spec trying to get more bio up. He does have a wall here at top to hold him off a little bit, but they are taking a lot of damage to the main base there. And we do have some Overlords on move command here. I think they attempted to drop, but nothing going on. But anyways, more action on the side of the map. More Zerglings coming in, trying to get more Zerglings out for Brain Crusher, but still unable to. Siege Tank, I think, either got canceled or got picked off right away because he was trying to work on that. He is working on Marines, though. They are coming out 7 at a time, but will they be here long enough for us to actually hold it off? These Zerglings are having a field day, doing a lot of damage to the workers, and I am bringing the Zerglings of my own and some Banelings over here to try to help my allies. Brain Crusher did squeeze out a couple roaches. This is going to be helpful holding off these Zerglings, but he does take a lot of damage to that base, but that base is still standing, so he can remacro up. Looks like these roaches are going to scare off the rest of these Zerglings, and I do get some good hits there with the Banelings myself. Get a lot of those Zerglings here. We do have an all-out Zerg warfare. Gonna be picking off these Banelings. Got to be kind of careful when guesstimating this though, because one wrong turn and Baneling can hatch and kill all your stuff. But luckily, only one Baneling here. The roaches should be able to deal with it. But Brain Crusher took a lot of hits. He is down on the worker count. Does need to macro up. Meanwhile, Spec did take a little bit of damage, but still has a good amount of workers, and he's got mules on both bases up. But we are going to be going out of the map, trying to do some damage ourselves. Do have an Overlord here, so we do have a vision and do see this gold base. So we do need a hit pretty soon before we're even farther behind. Spreading the creep out a little bit. Have a couple Zerglings here, but need to make some defensive Banelings. But because I have Zerglings moving into my base, so Zerglings going to be going in. Have a couple Zerglings here, a couple Queens here, but these Queens are not going to be enough to deal with this amount of Zerglings. He is going to be morphing in some Banelings too. Do see it. Arrows on creep, dropping to transfuse, trying to keep these Queens alive, and these Queens are unfortunately going down. Do have 2 more Queens back on the home base. Need to bring them down to defend. But more Zerglings here for Blue Zerg, going to be coming in, doing a lot of damage, trying to get all my drones out of there. Need to back these Queens up and hold position here on the ramp. We do have 1 Spine Crawler, but there's too many Zerglings here. Going to have to evacuate all of these drones, and these Banelings coming in, going to be getting, almost a huge hit on all these drones. They do have the Queens on the ramp, though. I am holding position, and this is doing a good job keeping all of these Banelings and Zerglings away. Going to be reburring that Spine Crawler there, too, as well. Roach is coming in from the back to do a little help, but they do bust through that second Queen, and they are in my main base, just destroying everything. Zerglings going crazy. Roach is coming in to try to desperately defend this, but we do trying our best to keep our workers alive. Spec, in the meantime, bringing his bio back home to kind of help secure this, but these roaches have already kind of helped. There's only a handful of Zerglings here, but they are going to be forced to go back because Red is moving in with mass Adepts, guys. We do have a couple of Marauders here. These Marauders are going to be doing good against these Adepts, but these Marines need to get the heck out of here and let these roaches tank, because these Marines are just going to get completely shredded by these Adepts. And they do have Resonating Glaives already, so once the Adepts have Resonating Glaives, they pretty much eat up anything light. Zerglings, Hydras, Marines, you name it. Roach is going to be coming back here. Needed to be there to fight with Spec's bio. He did lose all that army, unfortunately. But these roaches should be able to clean up these Adepts. Adepts aren't that good against armored. We do have a couple here on the other side of the map, just kind of camping out here. Even bringing the Queens back off the line, but they are going to be shading up to the main base, doing a lot of damage. And there's just damage going on everywhere. You have a fight here, the Adepts, workers, drones getting involved, more Adepts coming from the back. But in the meanwhile, there are mutas from the Blue Zerg here in my main base. So I'm just slowly getting picked apart and falling apart. I do have a good amount of Hydras here, going to be able to get these mutilas out of my base, but I just haven't had a moment to breathe, ladies and gentlemen. I'm running low on Queens. My drones are scattered everywhere. Even this guy being a complete BM, trying to take a base at my own natural. But Brain Crusher going to be cleaning that up. Going to be cleaning up these Adepts as well, but we do have to worry because this muta count is getting rather large. They do have their third bases up and unchecked. We haven't been able to do the damage. Meanwhile, Brain Crusher also kind of hurting for resources, making some Spore Crawlers because he has nothing to deal with these Mutalisks. And Spec here still stuck on 2 bases, but that's kind of all you need for bio, but needs to get a third one up because we are going to be losing this base race. Red even coming back in, and as you can see, non-stop aggression, even getting 2 Spine Crawlers here and a handful of Hydralisks, but these Zerglings going straight in and just going to town. I'm going to be bringing the rest of my Hydralisks back. Did have them split up to kind of deal with any mutas going into the main base. but we are just getting picked apart from inside out. Meanwhile, these Mutalisks going to be going across, doing a lot of damage, trying to do some harassment here to Brain Crusher. Brain Crusher has a couple Spore Callers, which can hold off the Mutalisk indefinitely, but it's not going to do too much too long. We do really need to try to counter push and put the aggression on the enemy team base, and that's kind of what I'm telling them, because if we're playing this defensive game and letting them just macro more and more, we are going to lose. So I'm telling them, hey, we got to go, we got to push, we got to try to make something happen. Spec's got some of the troops here, and as you can see, they know what they need to do. They're just going to keep streamlining more and more lings, just trying to keep me on edge and keep me back in my base so we can't actually go attack their base. And this is kind of the slugfest Zerg versus Zerg tends to be. We do have the Mutas coming here, going to be doing a little bit of harassment to Spec's main base, and even Parmenian taking our gold base. And as you can see, they're expanding like maniacs, taking our expansions. Going to be wrecking Spec's missile turret here. Just need these SCVs to come repair. Handful of Corruptors here for Brain Crusher, but Corruptors not really the best against Mutalisks. As you can see, these Corruptors are going to get eaten up. They don't have the numbers to deal with this. SCVs need to get out of there. Muta's doing a ton of damage. Spec just says forget it. Going to be counterattacking here on the other side of the map, going straight for Blue's base. And we're just really all over the place right now. Mutalisks getting a lot of work done, do kill a lot of the workers, and are going to be coming back to help deal with that bio threat. Meanwhile, back up top, we do have a little bit of FPS delay. I'm not sure what that's from. But Spec going to be trying to get his dropships out of here. The Mutalisk's going to be coming by awfully close, and he does see it with the Overlord placement here. Oh, he's going to be going in. The boost is down for Spec. Oh, he's going to get picks on these medevacs, and this is going to be huge. Medevac going down. The one with army in it goes down. The other three here are empty, and that's a huge hit. We're running low on resources and army as it is. We can afford to be taking those hits. So Spec, unfortunately, getting a little bit of a bad pick there, and Blue just going uncontested. More Lings, Mutalisks going from all over the map. Meanwhile, back at home, we barely got our bases saturated again and got back in this game, and they are coming back to finish what they started. We do have a handful of Hydralisks here to kind of help defend, but these Hydralisks are unupgraded. Mutalisks are +1, and these Zerglings are just tanking for the Hydras and going to be completely just ripping through me. This does not look good for me. This looks pretty grim. I have more Zerglings here. I can see my doom here on the creep, and even all these Banelings going to be running in, and he's morphing a billion Banelings here on the creep. Have a couple of roaches out, trying to mix it up, get some roaches to counter the Lings and the Banelings and the Hydras for the Mutas, but as you can see, we're just hurting economically, and they are just doing a lot of work. Brain Crusher come and help, Spec come and help as well, can be coming in. They do get a lot of the Mutalisks. Very good hit here for Spec. Baneling's going to be coming in, does manage to load up in the medevacs here, and these roaches are taking most of the Baneling hits, which is ideal. Zerglings here, a handful of roaches left, and we do have the better army to deal with this, but we don't exactly have the numbers, unfortunately. But these roaches, as you can see, doing a really good job dealing with these Zerglings, especially when the Zerglings don't have any upgrades. Roaches can tank for days. But we do need to get something done. Spec's main base running dry, almost mined out. Meanwhile, Brain Crusher also hurting, main base also mined out. And they are taking, Spec's taking this forward third, but Red has this base here. And this is a big problem because they've got high ground and watchtower, and it's so close to our base. Spec can be going in here, attacking into spine crawlers, spore crawlers, and queens. Does have the army here to take this. Only 1-1 on upgrades though, but there are a bunch of Banelings morphing here, so he does have to be careful. I don't know if these Banelings have speed yet. He is going to be moving forward, trying to get on top of those Banelings, but he's actually a little bit too close. He needs to load up and get out there. It does take a lot of big hits there. Going to be forced to lift off and take the rest of his troops back home, but meanwhile, we do have some Corruptors coming out. It does look like Blue is going to be transitioning into Broodlords. Some Corruptors here for Brain Crusher. Going to be trying to do a little bit of harassment himself, getting a couple Overlords. Going to be sniping out these Corruptors, but we do see the Broodlords here on the map, and they've got a good amount. But we do have the Corruptor count lead right now, so Brain Crusher should be able to clean this up and also get rid of some of those Broodlords, but he's got to be careful and stay away from the Queen Fire. But we do have a lot of Lings, a lot of Banelings going in forward. Trying my best to micro, trying to keep the roaches in the front and kite this Hydralisk to the back, but there's just simply too much stuff here. We haven't been able to keep up economically. We do have 3 bases, but we've just been under harassment the whole game. It's been real hard to kind of just stabilize and actually get a decent flow going. Every chance I get, it's just reassigning the workers and trying to stay alive instead of having actually time to counter push. But we do have Brain Crusher here doing a little bit of work. Is doing a lot of damage here, but Red is closing in for the kill, destroying Spec's base. Spec with the last little bit of bio he has, going to be forced to lift off and get out of there. But meanwhile, our main base is in shambles. Roaches have come back to help. We have cleaned up these Zerglings, Corruptors over here, doing a little bit of damage. Did take a good amount of those Broodlords out. We're going to be forced to come home, but there's more and more Zerglings coming in, ladies and gentlemen. There are a couple roaches here going to be meeting these Zerglings out here in the open field, going to be doing our best to fight. Gotta do something to try to flip these tides, get some kind of drop or something going, because right now it's looking pretty grim. Do have a small supply here of roaches and hydralisks going to be moving out, keeping them here at the forward end of the base, and once again forced to try to get everything back in order. We haven't lost too many drones, so we still have decent economy, but we really need to try to get a fourth base up and really just tech up. But they've just been doing a phenomenal job harassing us. Meanwhile, trying to get that base there. It does look Protoss is going to be trying to throw down a forward Nexus, being the jerk that he is going to be morphing in some Archons here. It does have some Depths and a huge army of Immortals, Zealots, and Adepts down here. Meanwhile, all we have is just a little bit of Bio, a little bit of Lynx, a little bit of Brain Crushers army here. He does not have a Greater Spire, he does have a regular one. Brood Lords might help in the situation, but there's just too much stuff here, simply put. Massive Protoss army going to be moving in, going to be attacking into kind of a small funnel, which is probably the best engagement this Bio is going to get, but he does need to stutter step back and get out of the way, because these Archons are just going to rip through this Bio force. Does need to get out of there. Just simply put, too much stuff here. Everything is 3-3 for the red Protoss. Bio over here for Spec is only 1-1, and Brain Crusher going to be leaving the game. Doesn't have much left besides the Corruptors. I myself getting destroyed. Do lose my gold base. Nothing left at home. Going to be forced to GG out. Now this was actually a really bad game for us. We pretty much got wrecked, guys. So if you like watch this, you probably think we suck. But you know what? It was fun. It was a fun game. And if you're not having fun, there's no point in playing. You can't win them all, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this game. I did. Till next time, GG. I'll see you later. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Please comment and subscribe to grow the team game community. Till next time.